Please don't box me. No, we need to put people in boxes because then we know where they are. That whole word of no is a shutdown, because then you stop. I know who you are. I put you in a box and now I know who you are. But when you step outside the box, it throws people off and they get really nervous.
Stupid small example that clarifies that.
Yeah.
So I got a new pair of Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah.
And I usually wear earbuds in at work. And I got those, and I mean, instantly I could feel it, and I noticed all of my coworkers are like, oh, what? It's like getting a new haircut or something. Everyone's like, oh, you can't do that. No, I know you as the guy with short hair,
Exactly.
long hair, whatever,
exactly.
you know. But even the smallest things, people they expect you to stay the same, and then when you change. So I guess what I'm trying to add to the conversation is, as soon as you do change or you open or grow, become something more than you were before, people notice, and some of them won't be comfortable with it, but that seems to be kind of, I don't want to say natural, but the way we react in society is people are a lot of times uncomfortable, even like a group of friends, when, you know, one of your friends is like just kicking ass in his career and doing amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that aren't going anywhere, all of a sudden they feel uncomfortable. And really, I mean, if you ask me, they should be like, oh yeah, you know, my friend's, you know,
Go for it.
going places.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. But we have that instinct in humanity to want to become accustomed to wanting things to stay the same. But nobody grows that way.
Mm-hmm. And that's why when people meet you, they put you in a box in their mind, even if they're not consciously doing it. It's like the human condition, as you said. They put you in a box and they say, okay, you're a this. And then you say something or you do something and now you're not in that box anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get a little like curious and questioning about that. And what's really amazing is when you don't exist in any box, then they keep trying to put you in a box, and you just go, well, yeah, that aspects of this box is pretty cool, and then there's aspects of that box I like too, and that box is kind of nice in those areas, and I like some of those, but I can't really fit in any of those. It is a good thing, because then all of a sudden, but it's not a safe thing because you're not going to feel totally accepted by any of the boxes. But if that isn't part of who you need to be, is to be accepted by a box, if you're like, I'm okay saying aloud, that aspect is cool and that aspect is cool. Saying it aloud and having people go, wait a minute, you're saying that you like this from Christianity and this from Judaism and this from Taoism and this from Islam and this from, and you're like, well, yeah.
And so that's how I feel with religion and spirituality, and I intermingle them because I don't see them as separate. But also, for me, being a music artist, it's completely irrelevant there too. Different genres, you know, I love all sorts of different genres, and there's also certain genres that I'm like, not so much, you know, and I don't work with them. But the ones that I do, I'm glad as an artist that nobody's forcing me, shackling me to one genre and saying, okay, pick one, you're done. Because quite frankly, it gets boring after a while. If you just jump into one of those music genres and all you can do is what's familiar and expected of you, there's only so many creative things that you can do that are slightly different that make it amazing. And so for me, it's enjoyable to be able to grab different genres and intermingle them and come up with my own recipe.
It goes back to the weaving, the ability to weave, that all humans have that ability to go, okay, and they have to just be all right with being uncomfortable a little bit, as they say, especially if they're, I guess I should say, if you're already a part of a group, right, and you step out of it and say, I'm going to start weaving other things into it, you have to be okay with the fact that maybe you're going to make that group that you're part of uneasy. Does that make sense? You experienced it with music, like when you were categorized, or we all experience it when we get categorized, even as a high school student or something, we're categorized as something, and then we start saying, well, wait a minute, I like these other aspects. The group you're with that you were categorized with kind of go, wait, no, don't go. Now I feel nervous because you're leaving, and now I'm questioning. I don't want to question. I like my safety net, and now you're making me question everything. So that is part of it. You have to step out of it and go, all right, I'm going to vocalize that I'm all right with different aspects from different things.
Funny thing is, it's really relevant in traditional martial art. A lot of traditional martial artists had this vibe of being like, okay, I'm doing karate and you're doing kung fu now. What's that all about? Is karate no good? And you know, you're let's just say I'm the kung fu guy. I'm thinking, no, I just wanted to learn some of those skills because that looks interesting. And yet, a lot of the traditional martial artists, they feel threatened when somebody else does something else. But here's the cool thing, at least I think it's cool. Now today with the mixed martial arts is that's the concept of learning how to fight better, is taking different pieces from whatever you want to take and then getting in the ring and testing it out. So it's interesting how martial arts has come to a place where I feel like there aren't as many strict boxes that you have to be in, and yet it still can go there. For instance, some of the mixed martial artists, well, a lot of them, the main martial arts are Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Those are the two most popular, and that's almost always there. But every once in a while, there's someone who adds in something from another martial art, and so there's always, I guess what I'm trying to say with that is there's always this potential to pull back to something being ignorant and condensed and just a box. Just, this is what we've got to work with. You can't use anything outside the box because we've all agreed this stuff is the best. And when you do that, it just seems to me like things will never become so perfectly understood that you can be confident with having a box. There are standards, there's basics, there's fundamentals of anything you can think about in life, but there's always something more outside of that traditional box.